everybody. I'm dressed up, so you know what that means. It's time for another Bad and Bookish. And this time we have Twilight. I have a complicated relationship with Twilight. It came out at exactly the right time to like really get me in that chokehold. But now as I'm older and have actually been in relationships, I realize what like a toxic train wreck it is. So it's like on the one hand there's that like teenage part of me that's still like crazy obsessed with it, but on the other hand I know how dumb and boring and cringy it is, and it kind of just mixes into this weird secondhand embarrassment. But to get to the point of why I chose this, there is a Twilight graphic novel. Now I thought that I knew that, and or maybe this was some kind of weird fever dream, but it's not. I was at ye local library, as I often am, and what did I see? Twilight. Now unfortunately I waited too long and I had to return it, so I have this just as a stand-in. So whenever you see this, pretend like it's the graphic novel. Okay? Okay. So the book Twilight, the whole book is broken up into 2 graphic novels. So there's volume 1 and volume 2. I did read both of them just for you guys. So obviously Stephanie Meyer wrote it, but the art is done by Young Kim, and it was published by Yin Press, and that might mean something to some of you guys, and it might mean absolutely nothing. But that to me, I was like, oh, I already know what I'm in for. So first and foremost, if you don't know the plot of Twilight, just real quick summary. Girl moves from Arizona to Forks, rainiest place on earth, to live with her dad because her mom got remarried and she wants to give them the time alone. She meets a handsome, brooding 25-year-old hot teenager that's actually, you know, 17 or whatever, named Edward. He's super rude to her. She meets another boy that's like her age, love triangle set up. He tells her, oh, the Cullens don't come here. She finds out they're vampires. They fall in love. She gets entangled in this convoluted game of cat and mouse, and then she like goes to the guy that allegedly has kidnapped her mom, but he didn't actually have her, and she's like a dumbass or whatever. He bites her. The Cullens come in and save everybody. Edward sucks out the poison. They go to prom. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds like a lot's happening. It's not. It's real slow. And I don't know if I was a teenager reading this, I would have a better opinion of it, or if you know, if I had read this when it came out, which I do believe it said 2010. Let me just check. What is the copyright? 2010. So I was 19. I think I was 19. So even then, I don't know if I would have been as keen on this at 19. I'm just gonna get into it. I mean, the story's Twilight, tale as old as time, so that's not really the things I want to focus on in this. I want to focus on the choices that were made. So I did a little bit of digging and a little bit of research, and I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk about it from like a comic graphic novel point of view, and just there's so many things about this that really bothers me. One, it's in this weird like sepia tone for volume 1. For volume 2, it's in this weird purple tone, and every once in a while they'll like add in some color a la Sin City style, but it does not have the impact or anything. Also, everything has this like really like soft airbrushy look to it, and I can't stand it. And I know like those kinds of things are, you know, very you know, it's just your taste or it's not your taste. But another thing about this graphic novel that bothers me so much is there's just this one thin line between the panels, and I don't know why, and it bothers me. Do I have a comic with me real quick? Yes, I got this one. So you know how comics, like, I'm not gonna say usually, but you know, a more standard version of a comic would look like that. It's just this one thin little black line through it, and I can't stand it. Also, the font they chose, I don't know why they chose it. And there's also these Microsoft Word 1998 borders around some of the text, and I don't know if that's when it's like a monologue. Like this one has it, and it says, I exiled myself to the tiny town of Forks in the Olympic Peninsula of Northwest Washington State, where my dad, Charlie, lived. And it's just got this like fleur-de-lis, is that how you say it? It's not even fleur-de-lis. There's like little lotuses in there. It's wild. I did read that Stephenie Meyer like supervised her, or I guess had like the go or not. So I don't know if, okay, this is what I'm trying to say nicely. I don't know if the artist also did the typing and the lettering and the kerning, and I don't want to blame her if she had nothing to do with it. And it feels like a very Stephenie Meyer's thing to do. I don't know if I'll ever know, but it is awful. It is awful. Also, it's really boring. And once again, I don't know if it's because Twilight was secretly boring all along and I'm just now coming to the realization or what, but it's really, really boring. And I was kind of mad that they split it up into 2 parts. But I also understand because like, I'm trying to think of something that's also been turned into a graphic novel, and I can't think of anything on the top of my head, but I do understand that like it would take longer to convey some of the actions that happened in a graphic novel than it would in a printed novel. So I understand that, but it's just really boring. So I had to, like, I got the first one, then my library didn't have a second one, so I had to like do one of those hold requests for them to send it from another library to my library. It was a big to do. It wasn't that big of a to do, but it was a to do, and it was like, this is not worth it. This is not worth it. And I thought about not doing it, but I said, if I read Twilight, somebody's gonna hear about it, and so you guys are the somebody that's hearing about it. I don't like the way any of the characters look. I don't like the weird choices of when to add color, when not to add color. I don't like the black line instead of like the space. It's just not enough spacing. It's not enough spacing, and I can't stand it. I don't. Ugh. Everybody just, you know what it is? You know how sometimes when you see something visually, it like gives you like feelings and sensations. Like for example, when I was reading the Being Robin graphic novel, I was talking about how like they were talking about and handling and doing like really like gritty things, like, you know, people were getting like tortured, you know, there were bombs exploding, you know, there was a part where like Batman was like tricked into fighting somebody because he looked like somebody else, you know, kind of that stuff. And I was like, wow, this is really rough. Like even during the parts that are like supposed to be like scary and stuff, like when Edward's telling Carlisle's story about how he was like a witch hunter because his dad was a Protestant preacher, or, you know, and he got bit and he had to like crawl away and hide and stuff. And I felt nothing. I was just like, okay, yep, let's go. How do I put this? It kind of feels to me like it just had too much of Stephenie Meyer in it. I don't know if she's a control freak. I don't know. I don't know a lot about that woman, but I just feel like if she would have just let the Yin Press team do what they do, it could have been better. Because even though I do think Twilight is very boring, there's a lot of shoujo mangas that have even less going on in them, and you read like chapter after chapter, book after book. Like, can anybody tell me what happens in Ranma 1/2? Shenanigans, and that's it. Love Hina, shenanigans, and that's it. Actually a lot does happen in Vampire Knight, and it's all wild. But you know, I just feel like it really had some potential, and I just believe because Stephenie Meyer was so heavily involved in it that a lot of it got nerfed. And I know she was very involved in it because on the last page, this is of the first one, it says, thanks to Stephanie Myers, who supervised each and every page and provided great guidance. Blah, blah, blah. Thanks to the whole Yin Press team. Thank you to my editor. She was very patient and kept me going. When the story started out, neither Bella or Edward believed that they could find happiness because they were different from others. But now we are beginning to see glimpses that they may indeed be able to find happiness together. To the reader, I sincerely hope that your own unique nature is loved, particularly by yourself. Oh, that was really nice. The end was really nice. That was really sweet. I like that. Okay, you know what? Positive. Young Kim, that was very sweet. I hope that you did some other things because I do want to check them out, and maybe we could do some kind of compare contrast thing to see if this was Stephanie Meyer's decision, if this was Stephanie Meyer's decision or not, you know. And I think that could be actually a good time. Indeed. So I spent so much time looking for Young Kim and any other thing that they had created, and I found nothing. Crickets. It's like they were put on this earth to make the Twilight graphic novels and then disappeared right off the face of the earth. It is crazy. I probably spent longer looking and researching this than I did actually recording the video talking about it. Like, I looked everywhere, you guys. I went to Goodreads, obviously, first, because I thought that would just be the easiest, because, you know, you can just click on the author. I typed in their name. I got this what happened to the Young Kim Twilight thing on Reddit. Somebody said they died, and that scared me because I was like, oh, I don't want this beautiful love story to have a tragic past. I mean, a tragic ending. But then when I kept looking, I could find nothing on that. And I feel like that would at least catch some kind of blip, something. Like, you go to Amazon, only thing that's on there is the Twilight stuff. It's it. And they were already working for Yin Press, so I don't understand how it can just be Twilight and then nothing else. Unless Twilight killed their career, but then that would mean that they hadn't done anything, got assigned to Twilight, and then did nothing after Twilight. If any of you have any information on this, please let me know. This is bothering me. I went to Instagram. I don't think this is the same person. And this is another thing. I don't know how common Young Kim is of a name in Korea. So, like, I was trying to stick with things that, like, this is Twilight, so it should lead to this. Nothing. And then all the articles that did say something about it was all from the time that the Twilight graphic novels came out. So I just can't find anything. It's just like they did the graphic novels for Twilight, New Moon, and then the first one for Eclipse, and then after that there is nothing. I found this article, sells 66,000 copies in the first week. I'm looking for hyperlinks. I'm looking for anything. And once again, this article is from 2010. Nothing. I don't know if maybe like in Korea there's more information about it. I have no idea. I went to Yin Press. I clicked on that. Like, that's what it's nothing. And then so here it said that they, did some like key animation stuff. So I was like, okay, thank goodness. That at least means they're alive. But even when I looked into that, I could find no more information. And I don't think that the graphic novels did that bad. Like, I don't think they were like nearly as popular as the Twilight franchise, but 66,000 copies in the first week ain't nothing to sneeze at. So I just don't get it if this was the career killer. Now back to Panda, who knows none of this. Also, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's a Twilight TV show in the making, and part of me is like, hell yeah. And part of me is like, leave it dead and buried. Leave it dead and buried. I'm in this like shit posting like Twilight Facebook group. It's the only reason I check Facebook at all. And they are livid. They do not want this. I don't know if anybody wants this. I mean, obviously somebody wants this because they're doing it. I don't want it, but I'm also really excited for like who they pick, because I can still remember when they announced that Kristen Stewart was gonna be Bella. There were so many people that I knew that were like freaking out. Like they were like, it should have been, what's her name? Kay Panabaker. It should have been her. And I thought it was gonna be Emily Browning, because Stephanie Meyer had said that like that was somebody that she thought looked a lot like Bella. I personally think that Emily Browning is too pretty. Not saying that Kristen Stewart is ugly, because she's definitely not. But when they describe Bella, she leans more Kristen than Emily, if that makes sense. And then I remember everybody was mad. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people were mad because Robert Pattinson was playing Edward, and they were like, he's too rugged. Like Edward is like supposed to be like this androgynous, like 17-year-old boy. This is a rugged man. And I just, it's so funny to me. And I kind of want that drama. Maybe I'm like some kind of weird emotional vampire that just feeds off of that. Like, I mean, I don't think I have to tell you guys about the toxic gossip train that's going on right now, but I am eating. I am loving it. I should have not been in my YouTube account, because it is all messed up from all the commentary channels I watch. But hey, you do what you do when you love what you love. Thank you guys for watching. I know this was a little scatterbrained. I did not look at the notes I took at all. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and watch another one of my videos, please. This will be in the Bad and Bookish playlist. I'm going to try to find some more of Young Kim's work. I also would like to do some more vampire graphic novels, or maybe just novels in general. It's just a lot easier to get through graphic novels since I have to do like, other things too. But we can do it. Like I said, I'm still in that queer romance book club. So if you want it, I got it here. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.